Hey guys, I'm Minamoto Pro Beats, and today I don't have a mixing tutorial for you. I think I have something far more important than just a basic mixing tutorial. I want to talk to you about 5 things that are holding you back from an amazing mix. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit the like button. Let's get right into it. So I want to talk to you about some of the things that I learned over the years that were really holding me back from moving forward in my mixing career, that were holding me back from achieving a better sound, that were holding me back to step up my business game to make more money in terms of mixing, mastering. These are things that I wish I knew earlier in my life, because once I knew them and I started applying them to my life, everything changed. I started making money, my mixes started sound a bit better, I kept improving, and I'm still improving till this day from mix to mix. In my opinion, these are things that you guys should know, and I'm gonna start with the first thing that I really think can hold you back from your creative process when it comes to mixing, and that's lack of organization. I mean lack of organization in your life. I mean lack of organization when you create, when you're mixing, when you're mastering, when you're making your music. For a lot of years I was creating in chaos. That's pretty amazing, but you cannot reproduce chaos each and every single day. Chaos is something that happens once in a while. Chaos is amazing for creativity, but if you're trying to do this as a job, if you're trying to achieve something in this domain, you need to have some sort of routine, some of the basic things that you can do. Keep a schedule, know exactly the projects that you're working on, know exactly what you have to do, organize your files, that's a pretty important one, use templates, organize your session, organize the way you export things, keep the same naming in place. For example, I keep my schedule on my iPad, and by keeping a schedule, I'm trying to stay away from surprises. A pretty bad example of that is at some point in my career, I was doing my regular stuff, and one day I received an email from a client saying that he's waiting for the mix. Unfortunately, I didn't had a schedule, I didn't wrote down exactly what I had to do. It was a blank, I've just forgotten it, and that was pretty painful for me to admit that I was wrong. Make sure that you're on top of things. That's one of the things that you can do to organize yourself better. Make a structure, even if you're working just on your music. My folder system is pretty basic, but a pretty efficient one. I like to keep the year that we're in, 2020, then the month, develop a workflow, make a routine, stick to it, be clean, not messy. The second thing is probably a hard to swallow pill, because I'm talking about ego. Most of the time, your ego is in between you and your progress. You really need to understand where you are in terms of skills, in terms of gear, in terms of talent. You really need to know your strengths, you really need to know your weakness, and you need to be able to adjust your goals. I think most of us are creating goals that are based on our egos, that are based on our pride. We want to be the best, we want to be on top of things, we want to make incredible music, but unfortunately we are not spending enough time learning, practicing our craft. We're not investing enough money in our equipment, even though nowadays it's really possible to achieve amazing results using cheap gear, using gear that's not particularly top end, by compensating with skills and creativity. You need to understand that if you are comparing yourself to big artists, if you are comparing your songs to big songs, you have to see past your ego and really look into what's behind that big artist and what's behind that big song. You'll probably find that the track was recorded in a nice studio by an amazing recording engineer with probably decades of experience. You have to be realistic and say, okay, I don't have that, but I have the drive, I have the passion and the capability to really look inside myself and see exactly where I am. Because if you misplace yourself lower or higher due to lack of ego, an inflated ego, then you're not in the right place. You need to see yourself for exactly what you are. You need to value yourself for exactly what you can offer. Know your level, be humble, keep your head down, and keep learning. Your ego wants to believe that you're probably the best. Maybe you are, but not now. You are a diamond in the rough, and you need to work yourself up. and having a big ego will probably stay in the way of your success. Be humble. Another really important thing is not knowing when to stop. When mixing, when you're creating a beat, a song, as an artist, as a creative person, you will always have that feeling that you can change something to make it better. And that was a big issue for me a couple of years ago. And let me tell you a story. Now it's a funny story, but at that moment it really affected me mentally. Here in Romania we have a few big artists. I've met one of the most popular underground rap artists. To my surprise, he wanted to work with me. I didn't have a name for myself. I didn't mix enough tracks. I was really surprised, but I was really happy that he trusted me with his music. He paid me. I took the project. I didn't have a deadline. Believe it or not, I spent close to 1 year mixing 10 or 12 tracks, which is crazy. I was feeling that my skills are not good enough, feeling that I can do better. So I spent almost an entire year mixing a project that should have taken me probably a few days. I was trying to make it sound really pristine, really nice, something really big, and that was a mistake. Know when to stop. If you have problems with stopping from working on a single project, on a single track, just create deadlines. Even if you're working on your own music, create a deadline. I need to finish this mix in 3 days. Finish it and leave it just like that. That's the final track. Music is not about perfection. Music is about emotion. And when you're spending so much time thinking about the technical stuff, you are really messing with the emotion of the track, with the feel. Learn from my mistakes and don't get stuck in your head with the idea that that small change will make a really big difference. You'll probably be the only one that's hearing it. You and a couple of other mixing engineers. It's not a victory or anything. Finish your project and move on. The number 4 mistake or mentality is thinking that plugins are what makes or breaks a mix. Unfortunately, as much as I love plugins, I love purchasing new gear, I really understand that the skill, the man behind the mix is so much more important. The advice that I have for you is take the results of the plugins and put the results on you, because you are the person responsible and you should take credit for your art, for your mixes, for your music. It's not the plugins credit. The plugins are just a tool, are really helpful, but you mixed the track. You created that beat, you made that song. Take the credit of the plugins, put the credit on your back. You'll see that with time your confidence will grow, and confidence is really important when you are trying to be creative. The last thing that I want to address is the fact that a lot of people are trying to cheat their way through life, trying to find the magic technique for mixing amazing vocals, the magic plugins, the magic book, the magic tutorial, the magic whatever you want, but that's not the case. You shouldn't aim for achieving a thing really fast. You really should go through the process, through the steps. With mixing, you really need to build your knowledge. You really need to build the confidence to mix. Same goes for mastering, for beat makers and producers. You really need to go through each step to learn from your mistakes. You really need to deal with those problems at that time. You need to embrace the entire process. Don't try to find shortcuts. Don't believe that you need to be really lucky to achieve success. Keep your head down, focus on your goals, go through the process, learn and enjoy it. That's everything that I had for today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I really want to share my experience with you because I find it really important to not only focus on the technical stuff, on the mixing tutorials. There are things that are more important than how you can use a certain plugin to make a certain sound. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit the like button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. See you guys really soon. Cheers.